Earn free crypto just by learning.
Well, all right. Seems like SP3 is having some technical difficulties here, but we are live on stream. This is your one and only good brother, the returning J News, and we are here for a pay-per-view roundtable, talking about Dominion. It took place yesterday morning at Osaka Joe Hall. It was delayed by one day due to, as we all know, the bastard COVID being responsible for a lot of different delays going on around the world today. Yeah, uh, first things first, uh, general consensus of the show to my good friend, the one and only Ness, who is here with us. SP3, we're waiting on Ness. Give me a general consensus of what you thought about the show before we go into the whole grading thing and everything in between.
I think it was a solid show from top to bottom. It started off decent, and then as the matches and the show went on, everything went from good to being better to great, in my opinion.
Agreed. I yesterday was a little bit of a. I watched it late, so for me it was in between work and trying to enjoy some New Japan.
Yeah.
so it was one of the. There he is. There's the one and only. It is him. It is him. It is him. SP3. He is here live with us right now. SP3. Me and Ness were basically just doing a brief overview of what we thought about the show yesterday for Dominion. So he just gave us some brief thoughts. What were your brief thoughts about how Dominion went yesterday?
I think it went really well. Apparently, New Japan does not like True Hill Heat. So I don't know if I can praise Dominion as much as I wish I could have at the morning. If anyone is wondering why, I think we put up the live stream for this yesterday. And then I woke up to a copyright strike from the photographer who took the picture of the ending of the event, which is understandable. You know, you want to get credit for your work. And then I used the fair use photos from New Japan's website, and then New Japan copyrighted us again. So we had 2 copyright strikes within a couple of hour span. So if anyone's wondering why the thumbnail for this video is our True Hill Heat logo, it's because New Japan can't copyright strike us for that. So we won't be using photos like we hope we could use on this Dominion video, because we want to avoid that 3rd copyright strike, because we want to keep giving you great content right here on True Hill Heat and don't want the account to be disabled. So for everyone watching us on YouTube, give this video a like, share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, family. If you're new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content. If you're watching us on Facebook or Twitter, drop us a like, drop us a heart emoji, a laugh emoji, an angry emoji, however you felt about New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion 2021. Let us know with those expressions. Leave your thoughts on the show in the live chat. If you are a new viewer and you haven't watched New Japan, let us know why. Let us know your thoughts on New Japan overall. If you don't watch, if you haven't watched, let us know in the live chat, because we love your engagement. J News, I know you're usually the quarterback for these rides with the New Japan Roundtable. I would just suggest let's start the ride at the end and talk about the main event first.
Sure. Why the hell not? At this point, that is that's where we should. I get. Yeah. You're the man. We're gonna start here. Kazuchika Okada, the Rainmaker himself, went 1-on-1 with the Rampage Dragon of Los Ingobernables de Japón, Shingo Takagi, in what I can only call an epic match that lasted 36 minutes and 6 seconds worth of wrestling greatness, in my opinion. I couldn't take my eyes off the screen yesterday. I have a job that requires me to be stuck to a computer all day, so I had to stop what I was doing to watch this match. And riveting is a word I would use. Usually I don't use it, but it was exactly that. When it came to this match, I posted it in my Instagram stories, which is something I don't usually do. But Jesus, I think that Takagi's win yesterday was merited just on what he's been doing since he got to New Japan.
Yeah.
It was just one of those, he earned it, he deserved it, and it wasn't on some the fans love him type of stuff. He's put the work in. He went from junior to tweener because he was a never open weighter guy, and then he got to the heavyweight division. The story was there. The rise of Shingo was there. The story was there for him, and this win, even though we've gotten 3 champions in 1 year.
No. I think you mean 3 different in this year, but if you look at since the pandemic, we were prior to the pandemic. I think we had 8 different IWGP World Champions in 9 years.
Yeah,
and then after the pandemic, we've had Evil, Naito. First we started off the pandemic with Naito, then Evil, then back to Naito, Ibushi.
Right.
Ospreay, and now Shingo. 6 in an 18-month span.
Right. And only 3 here in the year of 2021, which is, I think, is a little bit absurd and ridiculous. But COVID, booking, Gato wanted to do something new, I guess. I think the other thing that I wanted to mention as well about this match, besides the fact that it was just a great match overall, I think I've spoken about this in previous shows when it comes to the Okada rub. This one was necessary.
Yeah.
And he brought the A game. Obviously he did the classic Okada offense stuff, but he also brought out stuff that he knew he had to. He reached into the well for certain things to try to get Takagi down. Which only made the suspense of disbelief in making this a big fight feel even more during the match. And yeah, I don't even know what kind of star rating to give it. It's 6+ at this point for me. I don't. Takagi's freaking amazing, man. I mean, there's no other wrestler on the New Japan roster that does what he does from a match-to-match basis. No one does what he does, and that's all I gotta say for right now.
He went the full 6 just after giving him 6 stars for Ospreay and Shingo. I don't think this match was that good. I know you're happy about Shingo being the champion, but let's have some relative non-bias analysis here.
No. I always have a bias. This is always coming from the J News brain. I think it's at the end of the day, just because of what it's been for him, right? Because he's not a New Japan guy. He's like he has a similar road to Ibushi in that sense. And just because of what he brings to the table every single time he steps into the ring, it could be one of those multi-man tag matches, it could be a singles tag match. Takagi's gonna give you a stellar match, and he didn't disappoint to me in this particular sense. If we're gonna go. If we're gonna go non-biased, yes, no doubt. I think that his match against Jeff Cobb was better, no doubt. But I think the grandeur of the match, what it meant, him becoming the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, that's why I gave it the kind of a score that I did. But outside of that, those are my thoughts on the match. SP3, your thoughts, I would say.
I really like this match. 36 minutes. I think Shingo put on an all-time great performance, single match performance. The reason why I question the 6-star rating is because Okada was really, really good, but you can tell he's just coming back from dealing with COVID. He had to catch his breath a lot during this match, but the greatness of Okada is in the little things, and his facial expressions, his body language were on point here. We had the classic Okada spots, but his selling most of all, and the way he sold Shingo's offense is where we saw the greatness of Okada. I would have gave this match 4.5 stars, but that finish and the shock that it had, and it wasn't the traditional New Japan finish where, you know, the guy kind of hits one move, gets the 2 count, then he hits another move, and it's 1, 2, 3. It kind of just came out of nowhere. Like Shingo, they did the couple of reversals. Okada goes for the Rainmaker, and then he hits the Last of the Dragon. And I'm thinking, okay, this doesn't seem like it's the finish. If I feel like Okada's gonna kick out here, and then he doesn't. And like you heard the visceral awe and the gas from the crowd because they were shocked. I was shocked. My jaw was on the floor after this. So I bumps it up just a little bit. I give it 4 3/4 stars. Shingo Takagi, probably one of the 2 best matches that you can have in a 35 day span, with his 6-star classic against Will Ospreay at Wrestling Dontaku, and then this great matchup to become the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. And the fact that I have non-educated fans, that's all I could put it up to. Non-educated fans that say, oh no, this was a bad decision. Shingo's a mid-card guy. He can't sell out the Tokyo Dome. It's so ignorant, and it just tells me that you haven't watched New Japan in well over 2.5 years, because for 2.5 years since Shingo has came to New Japan, he has steadily climbed the ladder and became one of their best performers. He's outperformed Okada over that time span. I think that he's pretty much outperformed everyone besides Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay had a ridiculous 2021. He had a great latter half of 2020 and a fantastic 2019. But outside of Ospreay, there's been only one other guy who has been consistent with being the match of the night, and that's Shingo Takagi. He earned this spot, and it's not very often that New Japan, takes a risk. They took a risk with Evil, and that failed. They took a risk with Ospreay, and it was looking good, and then his injuries caught up to him, and he had to relinquish the title. Shingo pretty much broke a curse with New Japan. New Japan hadn't had a 6-star matchup since Kenny Omega left. And then him and Ospreay changed that by having the 6-star classic at Wrestling Dontaku. So I'm hoping that Shingo the Dragon can slay another curse and slay the curse of the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. You had the first champion lose in his first defense. You had the second champion go down to injury. So I'm hoping that Shingo has a steady run and he has a successful run, because he truly deserves it. Like I said, 4 3/4 stars for Shingo versus Okada. What about you, Ness?
Yeah, I also gave this match 4 3/4 stars. As much as I want to give it 5+, 6+, I'm not going to be too biased here, because this is a major feel good moment for myself as a huge Shingo Takagi fan. When you think of New Japan and when they're in dire times, especially like when your champions keep getting hurt, or things keep happening, you would expect them to fall back on their laurels, the old ace in the hole, aka Okada. LOL, Okada wins. So I'm truly grateful that they didn't go that route. Also, as a great comparison for the people that aren't familiar with New Japan, having Shingo go over Okada is like using Roman Reigns to put someone over. You got your top guy. They put and this was a clean win, like it was a definitive win.
The best comparison I could pick, and it's kind of ironic because I did an article about WWE versus New Japan, and I said the guy I put against Shingo is the guy I would make the comparison to is Cesaro. It would be like if Roman lost to Cesaro back at WrestleMania Backlash. That's what this matchup felt like, and that's why it shocked me with the finish.
Yeah, it was just like a guy that's consistent, always putting in the work, always going out there, giving you 110%. And then he finally gets rewarded, and again, as a fan, that makes me feel good. On top of the fact the match was amazing. Like it's not even that it was like, oh, they just phoned it in. Okada clearly knows he wasn't going to win, but he still showed up to make Shingo look good. And then like they just had, oh man, it was physical. It was back and forth, very, very brutal. I think it was the Made in Japan on the outside.
Yeah,
that looked brutal.
That
brutal
was ridiculous.
as hell, especially with Okada's just coming back with everything with COVID and all this stuff. It's just like, oh man, you guys aren't pulling no punches here. But again, the match was great. Again, as a fan, a huge fan of both guys, more so of Shingo, in my opinion. But it was great. It was overall, and then like the crowd seemed to even be behind Shingo in the situation. So again, you got the top guy, Okada. He's already made. There's nothing you can do to tarnish the legacy of Okada. But now you have you use him to put someone else over in Shingo, which again he's already there, already been putting in the work. Now he's just going to reap the benefits. So kudos on New Japan finally getting some type of booking right. Let's just see where they do from here on out.
Yes, this made me a little bit more forgiving of the past 18 months where the WWE New Japan rumor that went on with the talks with Nick Khan talking to New Japan. It made me be like, oh, this would be the capper for the worst 18 months of booking and business decisions that New Japan has had. J News, we haven't seen you on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel in a couple of weeks. What was your thoughts on that WWE New Japan rumor?
Bullshit, man. That's all I got. It's bullshit. Look, I don't look at the end of the day, hyperbole aside and everything else in between, just because I'm a fan. I'm just like Ness. I'm a fan of Los Ingobernables de Japón.
Hey, I am too.
Hey, pimp, they go that shirt. They go that shirt because that's real right there. That's love right there. When you are putting your money down to make sure you are supporting your squad. Back to my point. It's bullshit. Nick Khan is a corporate stooge who is trying to get the WWE sold from under Vince McMahon's nose. I'm telling you that right now. Secondarily, this whole New Japan thing with the WWE, guys, let's be realistic, right? You have Impact, you have AEW, and you have New Japan all under this big umbrella of trying to mix it up and cross talent over. The WWE is going to really step in here and take over to add what to the New Japan stable, in a sense. Notoriety, like, people don't watch Raw. People can't sit through Raw. Your best superstar is on Friday nights on your show that has the best ratings, but then your pay-per-views end up tanking because you can't get booking right by the end of the damn month. Or whatever the case is. So that to me, it played a little like, okay, it's the sports reference in a sense, right? So for example, the New York Knicks in basketball, right? They lost their playoff series last week. A couple of days later, the Portland Trailblazers lose. The first thing the Knicks do, they give a call to Portland, see if they can get D-Ro. They get your main man Dame Dollar and whatnot, right? That's the same thing Nick Khan was trying to do with New Japan, because they was trying to pull a rabbit out of a hat, in a sense here, and they were just giving phone calls. It was just one of those things. That's the way I thought about it, but.
That's definitely understandable. We got a couple of comments here. We got a couple of people saying hello to us. We got Jose Gonzalez of Sportskeeda Wrestling and Ricans of Wrestling saying, "What's going on, broskies? Have an awesome day. Have an awesome day to you. Thank you for joining us, good brother." We also got Powered 4 TV's own John Scott saying, "Afternoon from the UK. It is morning time here in the US, John, but thank you for joining us. Hope you get a little bit of a New Japan fix with us talking about it here." Also, I gotta ask you, J News, since we haven't seen you, like I said, haven't seen you in a couple of weeks. We had Shingo win the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, but I had to ask you about the Will Ospreay, going down with injury. We had the rumors where people were kind of saying that he was Shawn Michaels in 1997, that he lost his smile, and he left to the UK, and that's why he vacated the title. And then Will Ospreay had to show his X-rays, do podcast interviews to set the record straight and to pledge his allegiance to New Japan. But what was your thoughts on the injury of Ospreay taking him down when he was having a career run?
It was tough, bro. It was tough because as an Ospreay fan, I felt like, to use the proverbial wrestling term, they put the rocket to his back and he was gonna go up through the freaking moon. You know what I'm saying? That was it seemed to be basically the plan. And wrestling injuries derail stuff like this. I mean, the same thing did happen to Shawn Michaels, but they played it into a storyline about him losing his smile. In this case, knowing or not even knowing, but like just watching how Will tends to operate and feel his way through the media feeds and social media and stuff like that, it made sense to me that if he did get injured, something like this would happen, right?
Yeah.
Because he's not going to spend his time in front of a camera if he's hurt. He's gonna convalesce and he's gonna try to do his best to get back to 100%. And he's gonna show back up and hopefully he'll be ready to go at 100%. But right now he doesn't need to make this a storyline or try to just give people more fodder for the fire, as they say, and stuff like that. So it's tough. It was sad to hear. I remember when the news came down, you texted me that morning about it. And I said to myself, what do you mean? And I go online and I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't figure for this to happen now.
Yeah.
But they said that the injury took place during his last match, which is probably not true because neck injuries take a while. That stuff builds. So he does take a lot of hard bumps in that area of his body. So it's probably like a combination of a lot of things that have been going on.
To be honest with you, I think it's like a Stone Cold in 1999 type thing where Austin takes the power driver at SummerSlam 1997, and it's not until November of 1999 he's out of action with the neck injury. I think that this really started at Sakura Genesis 2018 when he takes the Spanish fly spot on the ring apron against Marty Scurll, and his neck was completely damaged. Like I had Alex McCarthy of Wrestling Daily, I was talking to him about it, and he was like, yeah, I remember back at WrestleMania weekend in New Orleans, he had the battered neck against Matt Riddle and WrestleCon, and I was like, yeah, that was from Sakura Genesis 2018. So I think it's 3 years of accumulation that kind of got back to him.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. Hopefully he can bounce back from this within due time. Just from a personal standpoint, like, dude, take your time. Like, I feel like New Japan's gonna be fine. They have different avenues to go, to entertain the fans, all these different cross promotional things that they can continue to do for the time being, so that can just hold the fort for a while. I think that Shingo is going to be a tremendous champion as long as he just continues to ride the wave that he's been on the last 2.5 years and stuff like that. I think that Shingo's going to do a good job. If they make him a transitional champion and just make him drop it back to Bushi, that's not bad either at the end of the day. Right?
I don't think that would be. I think that would be another bad decision because not only was the Evil title run bad for me, I think equally as bad was taking the title off of Ibushi so fast after making this new title, making him the guy that got the heat for putting the two titles together, and then immediately him losing it. What do you think, Ness? What do you think was the bigger gaffe by New Japan? Was it putting it on Evil or the short title run and cutting the legs off of Ibushi?
I think it was the short title run and cutting the legs off from Ibushi because it was the combination of, just like you said, the new title, him wanting to put the titles together, and then like after they're doing it, I don't even think he liked the outcome of it, and then everybody else, like just the fans, are not liking it. So here you got this guy that was vying to be champion for so long, and then he finally gets it. You get all this negative reaction towards it because you got the new title, and then the people that didn't even like the look of the title with the combination of, wiping the history of the lineage of the IWGP championship to begin with. So I think that with Evil, it's kind of like, all right, whatever, we tried and didn't work, we can move on. But with this title now is the new title, and we have to, it's going to stay around for a while. So I think that was a little bit, and then you just had him losing his first title defense on top of all that. So this is like, all right, what are you guys doing here?
Yeah, they got to get their booking together, but I think we can all agree that the putting the title on Shingo was a great move. Like Jay News alluded to, we had Shingo after the fact kind of saying how they're going through difficult time with like the COVID outbreak in Japan, but he hopes that his win gave them happiness. And then he challenged Kota Ibushi as the first challenger for him for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. And my God, Shingo is just going to be on a run of a lifetime with the 6-star classic with Ospreay, this great matchup with Okada, and now he's versus Ibushi. And if you saw them in the G1, you know that's going to be a banger. So, but J News, let's get to the rest of the show. I know you like to break stuff down, tell us the attendance, tell us where we were at. So let's start from the top and then make our way to Ibushi versus Cobb.
From the top, yesterday, June 7th, 2021, Monday, Osaka Joe Hall, 3,045 New Japan Pro Wrestling fans in attendance. Match number 1, a 10-man tag team matchup. It was members of Chaos, Sho, Yoshihashi, Tomohiro Ishii, Hiroki Goto, along with the ace Hiroshi Tanahashi, going up against members of the Bullet Club, El Phantasmo, Taiji Ishimori, Chase Owens, Yujiro Takahashi, and Evil. This match went out for 11 minutes and 50 seconds. I mean, there was a lot of cross storylines in this particular match that I was trying to understand from English commentary. It's a little confuzzled to me as to like what they're trying to do with the junior heavyweight division, both tag and singles at this point, because they don't have enough talent to fill that particular part of the roster.
Yeah.
And they were trying to hype up how El Phantasmo and Taiji Ishimori were going to be contenders for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championships, and then Taiji Ishimori, after the match was over, later on, I believe it was the third match of the night, he came back out basically to get into Despy's face about a future shot or whatever. Spoiler there, but and then I guess with the rest of the guys, Yujiro's a throw-in. Chase Owens is still comically the Texas Heavyweight Champion.
I love Kevin Kelly really selling this as like it's a legit championship.
Yeah.
And Chris Charlton calling out the fact that they never had video of him winning it, never had video of any of his title defenses,
right.
And we still haven't seen. Have we seen him with the title belt? Because I haven't.
I have, yeah. He's come out with the Texas Heavyweight Championship a couple times. But to wrap the result here, the Bullet Club wins this particular match. Taiji Ishimori hit the bloody cross on Sho. So I'm sure somewhere down the road we'll see either another one-on-one between Ishimori and Sho before Ishimori takes on Despy.
Well, we're gonna get Ishimori and ELP versus Roppongi 3K.
We'll probably get that
Kazuna Road on June, and I believe the date is June 23rd. That's going to be the main event of that show.
I'll double check that in a minute. And then the main storyline for this was about the never open weight 6-man tag team match, tag team championship here. So it's the longest reigning never open weight 6-man tag champs, be it the Chaos faction members of Ishii, Yoshihashi, and Goto. Seems like the Bullet Club members of Evil, Yujiro, and Chase Owens will be the ones to be challenging for this these particular titles, because they did the classic after the bell beatdown of the members of Chaos there. Overall grade for this match, I mean, it's a New Japan multi-man match, so I don't know, 2.75 stars here. It didn't the match to start off the night, obviously you start off slow, so that's the way I want to grade that. But Ness, what were your thoughts on this particular match?
Yeah, I gave this match 2.5. As much as you're gonna get out of a 10-man multi-man match of New Japan, it was all right, but I mainly so graded it for the stories that will come out of it. Like you said, the vying for the 6-man never open weight titles, and then just the Ishimori versus Sho, or Roppongi 3K versus ELP and Ishimori. in the future. So yeah, but it was all right.
Yeah, I gave this one 2 3/4 stars, only because I am impressed with the never openweight 6-man tag team titles. I usually view those titles as hot potatoes who they just go around to whatever 3-man team they want to give a rub to. But they have really been concentrated on building prestige with these titles that really haven't mattered since they were created, in my opinion, in 2016. But the team of Yoshihashi, Goto, and Ishii, they have actually, concentrated on them. And, we see like them doing double team moves together, Ishii and Goto, and, Yoshihashi getting the victories for the team is building him up at the same time. So, and their matches have been honestly great. Like I one of the few matches that I saw on the road to Dominion was the 6-man tag between Chaos and LIJ, and that was great stuff, especially the stuff between Ishii and Naito. They always deliver in the ring together, and they did that in that match. So I like the fact that they're building up the never openweight 6-man tag team titles. I not too enthused on the next challengers being Evil, Yujiro Takahashi, and Chase Owens. When Chase Owens is the member of your team that I'm most interested in, that's a little bit of an issue. And I'm sorry to say that. I loved Evil when he was with LIJ, but we had that months of him being the champion, months of him being in the main event scene. It's kind of wore me thin, even though I am a fan of Evil Dick. Many of women are fans of Evil Dick as well. So I'm good with them, but at the same time, I'm not too enthused on Evil's character overall. We got a couple of comments here in the live chat. We got Rambo here with us. He says he really enjoyed yesterday's Brett's Bio documentary review with me and Ness. He says it was the most tense live chat I've ever been in. That plus Mark's weird plays for Julie Hart. And speaking of Mark's here with us. He says Will's doing okay. He's gonna do stuff behind the scenes for a promotion in the UK. That is always nice to hear. We got Rambo talking about, he says, random point, but I'll make it. I know Japanese fans of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Personally, I describe shows like Wrestle Talk, Woke Culture, and this, etc. They can't get their head around why the West goes into so much. Hey, we enjoy talking about professional wrestling. I don't understand why New Japan is giving us copyright strikes for fair use photos. God damn it, New Japan! I loved you. Why is this love-hate relationship going on?
It's a cultural dynamic, I think, just because of the way that we here in the West do the whole analysis thing. It comes into the way that we analyze sports as well. From a cultural aspect in Japan, that's not done that way. And we do it that way here with professional wrestling, even though we understand that professional wrestling is kayfabe, right? So it's booked ahead of time and yada yada yada. But these guys are still athletes. We still have to follow the storylines. We have to understand how the beats go. Does this match, whatever match we're watching, does it solidify or does it at least confirm that the storyline that they had booked all this time worked? You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes when you book a specific match, it didn't work. The finish doesn't work, or the way that they booked it doesn't work. The swerve went wrong, whatever it might be. There's so much sense of analysis to go through, which is why this is a popular thing with the talking heads, right? As we are, and it's serviceable because everybody has their own unique perspective and view. There's not just one homogenous view of how to look at professional wrestling, be it New Japan or not, So, I just to answer that.
That was a great point. We also got Slam Hub Wrestling saying Okada needs to go after the Texas Heavyweight Championship. Yes, give the Okada rub to Chase Owens. I agree. Slam Hub Wrestling. And Rambo says it's North Korea, SP3. They hack in the internet. Yes, North Korea has not been a fan of True Hill Heat since our collision in Korea review. So I understand where that's coming from. We also got Marjo32 joining us saying that's some high level knowledge. Thank you. Yes, J News, that's why he is the MC, the master of ceremonies for New Japan Pro Wrestling. He understands these things. And then we got MW Network's brilliant show Dominion has become one of my favorites. New era for New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's finally the time of the dragon. Perfect move to create a new era. And I definitely agree with you. We talked about that move being, you know, one of the. I also didn't mention it was one of the first times since Wrestle Kingdom that I had genuine joy watching New Japan. Like I loved a lot of the matches since Wrestle Kingdom, like Shingo versus Tanahashi, Ospreay versus Shingo at the New Japan Cup Finals and at Wrestling Dontaku. But this was genuine joy when Shingo won because it felt like someone who earned their way to the top of New Japan got it there, and we didn't have to wait years like we did for Kota Ibushi, years like we had to wait for Kenny Omega. You know, we had to wait years for some of the popular guys, and with Shingo, it was just a steady progression from the junior heavyweights to never open weight and now the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. So it's beautiful to see and definitely one of the highlights of the entire year for New Japan Pro Wrestling. But continue putting your thoughts in the live chat. We love the engagement. We love you guys giving your thoughts, as well as drop a like on this video. And of course, if you're new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified. J News, take us to our next match.
Second match of the night, we had a 6-man tag. We had Los Ingobernables de Japón, Bushi, Sanada, and Tetsuya Naito going up against members of Suzuki-Gun, Doki, Zack Sabre Jr., and Tai Chi. During the Road to Dominion shows, Zack Sabre Jr. and Tai Chi did regain the IWGP World Heavyweight Tag Team Championships back from GOD. So they are now the tag champs. And we have the new brewing storyline of Sanada and Tetsuya Naito becoming a tag team and eventually sometime down the road probably challenging Zack Sabre Jr. and Tai Chi for those straps. So that's something to look into. That was a storyline that was brewing here. Bushi and Doki, obviously the junior heavyweights in this particular situation. You know, I'm not necessarily sure what New Japan's trying to do with Doki. You know, he is the loco of the whole entire bit. Bushi's just there for right now.
They literally have Doki there for our boy Gino Gambino to say the Doki Choki, the Doki Choki. That's one of the best calls in any professional wrestling organization from a commentator.
Very, very, very true. Very true. But 11 minutes, 31 seconds worth here. Sanada with what they call the Aussie suplex on Zack Sabre Jr., even though it was one pinning combination into another. It was really a reversal that got the win here.
I saw that too. Because like I said, I tried to use their photos from their website because I thought there was fair use photos and they still copyrighted it. But I was reading the results at the same time and I was like, what? Aussie suplex? He literally just reversed the roll up and turned it into like a tiger suplex bridge for the win.
That's basically what it was, a tiger suplex bridge to be more clear there. So the LIJ faction gets the win here. Steady. It was a steadfast LIJ's multi-man tag match, which are usually the best ones, because LIJ just knows how to flow very well during a match, and they just know how to put off that offense. You know, Suzuki-Gun wasn't too far behind. Obviously, Tai Chi and Zack Sabre Jr. Coming off of that win versus GOD. This was a bit of a respite match because Tai Chi is obviously also coming off of a bout with COVID as well.
Yeah.
So they had to let Zack and Doki carry this particular match here on their end. So, you know, solid 2.5 stars for me here. Yet again, just to continue my bias. I am a Sonata fanboy that is not going to stop. Having him yet again in a tag team scenario with another partner to go for these IWGP World Heavyweight Championships. Listen, I get it's Naito, and it might be different because
It
Naito
is.
has all the charisma and he's got the character and all that and stuff in between. It feels like the WWE tag division because they keep throwing people together and stuff like that. And I, for one, am not I'm not a big fan of that. So at the end of the day, it's just, even though they're part of the same faction, it's like, I don't know, Big E and Woods, or Woods and
Oh,
Kofi.
come on, come on.
Kofi and Big
I
E.
would definitely say the God are the New Day of the New Japan Tag Division, where they just if they don't have any other tag team to put the titles on, they just put it on God. That's what WWE does with the New Day. If they don't have any other tag team that's hot
Yeah.
at the moment, they put the titles on the New Day. So I like the fact these teams are going at it, and I agree with the commentary. Kevin Kelly and Chris Charlton saying this felt like the first junior IWGP heavyweight tag team title match that could main event any show, in my
Sure.
opinion.
Yeah,
Because you got
sure.
Naito, who's a former IWGP heavyweight champion. You got Zack Sabre Jr., who's won the New Japan Cup. You got Sonata, who went to the finals of the G1 Climax. And you got Taichi, who's been steady, getting his reputation and his value up for New Japan. So I like the interplay of personalities here. I gave this match 3 stars. I thought it was a step up from the multi-man opener, and I like this feud that's forming because this actually feels like a heavyweight tag team title feud that I can actually get invested in and be into. Although I did hear that the Dangerous Tekkers and God main event on the road to Dominion was good, I just haven't been into that because although, Dangerous Tekkers are the more favorable of those two teams, I don't believe in either one of those teams as baby faces. It's 2 heels, so I can't get as invested as I would like. So I prefer this feud over the Dangerous Tekkers versus God.
Sure. Ness, your thoughts, sir?
I give this match 2 3/4 stars. That definitely was a step up from the opener.
Sure.
The less people, it flowed way better in my opinion. This match. I'm happy that once again I am a LIJ Mark. I'm a Sonata fanboy just like you. I was happy that he got the pin, and then the post match with him and Naito, face to face with Taichi and Zack Sabre Jr. And all I'm thinking is, oh, Sonata and Naito are going to be IWGP Tag Team Champions. Like, that's all I'm saying. I'm like, that's all I'm thinking. It's possible they won't be, but that's all that came to mind. And I'm just like, yo, it'll be great because, Naito, well, both of these guys will get a championship again.
Right.
With Sonata being, one of the staples in the tag division. As much as I would like him to have some singles runs, he is one of the staples of the tag division. And then Naito just being back in a championship run. That's all I need. Like, just give me that. I'll be happy with that. That's something. And I know these guys they could possibly go on and have a great title run if that's the way that, New Japan would go with it. But the match, again, it was good. It kind of does suck that, Doki was there, Bushi's there, but because they're kind of afterthoughts after the match. Match is over. We're just talking about Dangerous Tekkers and Sonata and Naito. But overall, 2 3/4 stars. Match is good, and now I'm just ready to see those 2 teams face off.
Yeah, and I thought it was cool that they didn't give you the predictable finish because when you have Doki and Bushi in the match, you think they're just there to take the fall.
Exactly.
So I like that they did that. We got in the comments here some love for Jay News. He said, Rambo says, where can I find more of Jay News, please? He says, some of the best knowledge I've heard in a while. Jay News, you want to tell him?
Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you for the kind words. To find me is a very difficult thing to do nowadays. For all intents and purposes, guys. Now I appreciate the love, man. It's just my work schedule is very up and down or whatever the case is. So it takes me out of whack with everything. And SP3 had to make sure to tell me 9 a.m. tomorrow. I set my alarm. I got up after 3 hours of sleep. And I'm like, all right, I'm here. I'm watching. I'm involved. So yeah, man. I appreciate it. But usually you can catch me here on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. I'm trying to make sure that every Friday I'm doing these at least New Japan Strong shows. But the last 2 weeks kind of kicked my ass.
No worries, sir. We appreciate you joining us for the roundtables. That's the main thing you could find us. I always try to make sure we have J News on the roundtables when we talk about New Japan.
Quick plug to the Dirty Daddy, Chris Dickinson and Tom Lawler for that match, that great match over on New Japan Strong, because they deserve all the love for that shoot match basically that they had on New Japan Strong. That was, if you want to talk about physical and brutality, those boys, they went at it there. But to wrap this particular matchup, look, we know what we're gonna get. Right, it's going to be Sonata, Tetsuya Naito versus Zack Sabre Jr. and Taichi somewhere down the road. How they build this feud is going to be very important, right?
Yeah.
Because Kevin Kelly, like you said, SP3, Kevin Kelly mentioning the fact that this kind of a tag team match can main event a show. He also said that about the Never Openweight 6-man tag teams as well. So there might be some developments in booking in the near future that we might have to take a look at. Outside of Shingo being the new champ, they might be going in different directions with their tag division. So we'll see how that plays out.
I'm all for them building prestige in the tag division, which has been lacking for years. As long as I've been a New Japan fan, they really haven't seemed like they cared about the tag division unless the Young Bucks were the junior tag team champions or the heavyweight tag team champions. It never really feels like that. But now, since a lot of stars are out, it seems like they are valuing their championships just a little bit more, which is great to see. We got Slam Hub Wrestling saying Gato booked a good show at the expense of sacrificing the Dominion ramp. We also got the MW Network saying, with the international talent in contract negotiations, I wouldn't be mad if New Japan Pro Wrestling joined in on Cyber Fight with Noah, DDT, and Tokyo Joshi Pro, boost up some Japan talent crossover while they also have U.S. partners. That's not a bad idea at all.
We talked about that the last time I was on and stuff like that. That Japanese talent crossover, because they need to look. At the end of the day, the New Japan is the equivalent of the WWE over in Japan. They need to start to play nice with these other companies, because it's only going to benefit them as long as they're in Japan and they can't go elsewhere.
Yeah,
So I just wanted to make that point.
It helps them out. Marjo talking about Sonata. Imagine every move he does is the Australian variant, LOL. And Slam Hump Wrestling saying Naito in the tag team scene is really refreshing. P.S. New Japan need more tag teams for both divisions. Ness, I got a question for you based on this comment here. One tag team from AEW, one tag team from Impact you would like to see in New Japan?
Oh man, the tag team from AEW I like to see is the Lucha Bros, or actually Phoenix. Whenever he gets back, Phoenix and Pac specifically out of the Death Triangle. And from Impact, I would like to see actually I would like to see, this is kind of out of left field, Petey Williams and Josh Alexander.
Then Team Canada 2.0, as I like to call it.
Right.
I dig it.
If I could piggyback off of this real quick, since we're fantasy booking, Impact had a terrific tag team in the North, and there is a cross promotional depth chart there. Josh Alexander is still in Impact. All Ego Ethan Page is in AEW. That can be a thing. Yeah. That can be a thing. But regardless of the fact, as of with the AEW tag teams, I really liked what Ness said about the Lucha Bros. But let's be real, man. I wanna see these members of the Pinnacle, the best tag team in the business, right? This FTR tag team get some much requested globalized love, because they need it, man. Those guys are terrific. They're great at what they do. I would like to see that. I don't watch enough of Impact right now to know as to what their tag team scene is like. But to mention one specific thing, Pac in the IWGP Junior Heavyweight division is necessary. Those two divisions lack so much talent that those guys, that Pac being one, and countless other guys across Impact and even ROH, for God's sakes, you know what I'm saying? That can go over to New Japan and raise some eyebrows and stuff like that. So, yeah, definitely something in that realm.
And we would definitely want to hear from you guys in the live chat what teams you would like to see from AEW or Impact, or if you are, unlike us, believe in the WWE New Japan talks, what tag team from WWE you would like to see in New Japan to freshen up that talent pool over there. Heel Steven already bringing the noise, our good brother over on his channel. Great content that he does. He did a live reactions to Dominion. Definitely check that out once we're done. He says from AEW to New Japan, Santana and Ortiz, and from Impact, the return of the Good Brothers. The Good Brothers would definitely be high on my list. Sure. We also got a question here. Let's hear it. Rambo saying, J News, do you think Braun would be a success in New Japan, or you think Tony, everything's great Khan, gonna say, Dad, I need a new figure to play with that comes in giant size? If you don't know J News, Rambo has a hatred for Tony Khan due to his work with Fulham.
Oh, okay. That I can understand. That I can definitely understand. But to answer his question directly, part one, I'm not sure if Adam Shear wants to wrestle anymore. That's part one. Part two, if he wants to remain in wrestling, I think him being like this big hoss gaijin in New Japan would be a return to old days, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But at the end of the day, let's keep championships away from Braun if he does go over to NJPW. And as for him going to AEW, I think that would be a mistake on Tony Khan's part, to be honest. The company and its wrestling fan base aren't based around the kind of star or the kind of wrestler that Braun Strowman is. That's not the product that they sell. So, you know, if they want to go that route, I know that Big Show's there. I know that Mark Henry just made his appearance. Then these are older gentlemen of that WWE ilk, the big guys and stuff like that, or whatever the case is. But outside of Luchasaurus, who's currently active and larger than life, who else do you really have? You know what I'm saying?
Sure. And he would make all of them look small.
Yeah, and it's like, and it's Luchasaurus, it's Lance Archer. Really, if you're looking for guys with height, right? But their work rate is so high in comparison to what Braun gives you. Now, are you going to allow Braun to be, you know, more of a work rate kind of a guy? Can he go at that particular pace? Who knows? But I, for one, just understanding what we've seen from Braun the last 5 to 6 years that he's been on TV, I wouldn't do it, me personally. But who knows? At the end of the day.
Yeah. And look at this, guys. We got stars in the live chat. One of the faces of UK wrestling journalism, Alex McCarthy, saying, yo, the True Hill Heat Boys and his tag team is none other than me and Alex. The Daily Boys should hit Japan. Brother. SP3 and Alex take Japan. I love that idea. We would run through everybody. I would be scared of Tomohiro Ishii. That's all you, Alex. You're a little bit more muscled. You work out with the British strong style, so you can handle the beating that Tomohiro Ishii would give us. But I can handle Yoshihashi. I got you. I'll handle Yoshihashi. You handle Tomohiro Ishii. I think that sounds like a good balance. And then the final comment we got here from Marjo32. Give me Kenny and Hangman before the break in New Japan. That would be very interesting. Yeah. Kenny and Hangman versus Golden Aces. Sign me up right there. Sure. And then Alex saying hot tag for SP3 is all good. Yes, I'm gonna hot tag you. I'll take the beating. I'll be Ricky Morton. You be Robert Gibson all day, every day. J News, take us to the next match.
Next match of the night, we had the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship match. We had one half of Roppongi 3K versus the champ himself, El Desperado of Suzuki-Gun. 23 minutes, 40 seconds. You know, I didn't necessarily know what to think of this match, to be honest. When I was watching it, it was the first part of it was a lot of like character work from Despy. Like he was really shooing Yo off the majority of the time, basically trying to play him and and things of that nature. Yo trying to show that he had that fire within him that Desperado was looking for. Um, to be completely honest, I am not to say that I'm not a fan of Yo, but like I didn't think the fire that Despy wanted to get out of Yo ever really showed up necessarily. And I think that the wrestling style that Yo has is very, I don't know. I mean, it's not that it's lackluster. It's just like, I don't know. It's not what Despy wanted, right? Because that's really where the storyline was in the match. It's what Despy wanted. He wanted the fire. He wanted the physicality. He basically wanted he basically wanted the kind of a match based off of the conversations that we've been having about El Desperado for the last 7 or 8 months. How great he's been. The level of intensity.
He wanted Yo to be Show.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And there's only one Show. You know what I'm saying? So, not to take anything away from Yo, because Yo's coming back from injury, and him just trying to do his best to be a part of the junior heavyweight division. But yet again, to my point, the junior heavyweight tag division and the junior heavyweight division itself needs an influx of talent like nobody's business. And I remember when they had all those NXT signings a few months ago, whatever the case is, and I said to myself, God damn, they just took a whole heaping lot of wrestlers that could have probably helped out New Japan in that junior heavyweight division out of the running. So it's just one of those things where it's like it was a decent match, 3 stars, because it is Yo, it is Desperado. They did their best to do what they could. Despy did get the win here with El Pinche Loco at the end of it all, to retain his IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. SP3, your thoughts on this match?
I was a little bit higher on it. I thought it had strong psychology, good storytelling throughout, especially Desperado attacking the injured leg of Yo. So I gave it 3.5 stars. It was a pinch too long, in my opinion. If you cut off like 5 to 6 minutes of this match, I think it's a lot better of a matchup, and it will improve. I think they went a little bit long for the style of wrestling they were getting, because it wasn't your prototypical type of junior heavyweight matchup. Like we got Yo with some high flying. Desperado is not that type of guy. This is a guy that mixed it up and was hard hitting with Tomohiro Ishii just a year ago, and Shingo Takagi. So he doesn't have the style that is more akin to the junior heavyweights. That's why he meshes better with someone like Hiromu, who can do like the never open weight style with the junior heavyweight style and blend it in very well. I just think that was probably what was missing here. Probably Show would have been a better first challenger for El Desperado, but I understand them going with Yo here to get him more, get his feet wet a little bit more, work off that ring rust from being out so long. So that's why I gave it 3.5 stars. I think it was the right decision going with El Despy to keep the title, keep him looking strong, because I feel like him and Hiromu, when Hiromu makes his return, is going to be very good. But I totally agree with you. The junior heavyweight division, like a year and a half ago, before this whole pandemic, who do we have in the junior? We had guys like Robbie Eagles, we had Bandito, we had Dragon Lee. Now we have guys like Leo Rush, who signed with the company, who can't even come to Japan. It's just like the junior heavyweight division needs an influx of talent badly, and I think that just overall between this matchup and then the post match where Ishimori has to challenge for a Desperado for the junior heavyweight division, junior heavyweight title. At the same time, Ishimori and ELP are going for the IWGP junior heavyweight tag team titles. It just shows you that this division is very lacking when this seems like the only 5 guys in the goddamn division.
Yeah, it's a tough read when it comes to that division, and like we both said, the influx of talent is necessary. I mentioned Pac earlier. Obviously, Leo Rush signing with New Japan but not being able to go to Japan is something that I would want to see. I mean, guys like Angelico or freaking Jack, Jack, for intents and
Jack
purposes,
Evans, Ray
Jack
Phoenix.
Evans, man, Ray
Ray
Phoenix.
Phoenix would be ridiculous here.
You know, a return to New Japan for guys like Dragon Lee and Bandito and guys like that. I mean,
TJP is been on New Japan Strong, and he can't
for
come to Japan. So
exactly, I would love to see Chris Bay in an actual New Japan proper ring. You know what I'm saying?
we got a good one here from Heel Steven saying, "Imagine
Yes,
Murphy
exactly.
in the Super
Yes,
J
yes,
Cup." 100%.
exactly.
Buddy Murphy is one of the guys that when we were talking about the releases from last week, where did we think they were going? I said
Japan.
Murphy would be brilliant in New
Yes.
Japan because I feel like in AEW you need some type of mic skills to stand out from the pack. You can't just be a super worker like Murphy is, but you put him in New Japan, his value is going to go up. What about you, Ness? What did you think of this matchup?
I give this match a solid 3. I enjoyed it, but it just seemed like it never got into second gear like I was expecting it to. And it kind of seemed like the crowd really wasn't really that high on it. They were just like, they're just pretty much spectating. Overall, the match was decent, but it just never went that next notch that, you know, like we expect in usual New Japan matches, definitely title matches, especially in the junior heavyweight division. But yeah, I just gotta agree with you guys in the sentiments of they just need more talent in this division, because it's a bad spot when the guys that you have vying for the tag titles, oh well, yeah, in a couple more matches I'm going to come out and challenge the singles title guy as well. So it's just like, all right, now we're kind of overdoing it, you know. And of course it's Bullet Club, so you know it's heat, but there's so much heat you can get where it's good heat versus all right, now we're just getting tired of you, and it's not
Go away
like
heat, man.
Yeah,
you don't want that go away heat.
Yeah, you don't want the go away heat, especially with one of your biggest stables in the company, you know. And hopefully, you know, we don't have to worry about this for too much longer regarding you know, everything going on in the world with COVID. But yeah, just that shot in the arm of talent, like all the New Japan Strong guys, which the majority of them can jump into the junior division. So I'm hoping that they do that, or you know, they finally try to utilize some of these partnerships, you know. And yeah, it just needs to be something needs to be refreshed for this division.
They need to really play nice with the other Japanese promotions, to be quite honest at this point. Yeah.
For sure. We got Heel Steven saying, "Yo just screams tag team guy to me." We got Marjo saying, "Ooh, Murphy would shine." Absolutely. Heel Steven with another good idea, another name, Sammy Guevara in the best of the Super Juniors, 100%. And then Slam Hub Wrestling saying seeds were planted between a possible dissension between Ishimori and Phantasmo, leading to ELP getting the boot from Bullet Club. This adds fuel to the reports of him leaving the company altogether. It could, even though I feel like ELP is the better fit for the Bullet Club, in my opinion. I feel like Ishimori he can get kicked out from the Bullet Club and he would easily blend in well with like Suzuki-Gun, in my opinion.
Yeah, because I feel like ELP's more the character guys are necessary in New Japan, just because there aren't enough guys who can do the character work and the mic work to the level that, you know, a lot of the I guess you could say English speaking guys can in that sense. So yeah, like he said, the dissension was you know, it was there. They started brewing it. Taiji Ishimori snatched the mic away from LP during the post-match promo and stuff like that, and he got in Despy's face, and LP would just with that look on his face, like this man did not just take this mic out of my hand. Look, so you know that was started there. But who knows, man? I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of these wrestlers, depending as to whatever their needs are from a personal basis, you know, be it more money, be it them wanting to stay where they're at, not wanting to travel anymore, that's becoming a headache and stuff like that. So it just really depends as to where these guys want to be and how often they want to work. as well, right? So these schedules are something that that people have to take into account as well. But we have to talk about this next match because I felt like this should have been more, or this should have been for a title, right? Because I'm not wrong here by saying that this is where the mistake was made of getting rid of the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. This is where the mistake was made because Jeff Cobb and Kota Ibushi should have been fighting for some sort of gold here. There's not there for me specifically. I can only talk for myself. There's just no way around it. And then to not even have Jay White on the show, I was like,
well, he's still recovering from COVID,
right,
testing positive.
the bastard. So it is what it is. But it's like, yeah, this should have been for something like a special singles match. Like, come on, guys! Like,
well, New Japan doesn't call their special singles matches number one contenderships, but this was a number one contenders match.
Right, I get that, but it's like they should have been. They didn't bill it as such. So at the end of the day,
they don't do that. They don't do that. They literally just have the announcers say, "Oh, this is basically a number one contenders match."
But you have to have the feeling of something of importance to be happening during this match, and to like pseudo, put the warm cloth on this match. Like, yeah, this can be the number one contenders match. Like, no, like put it on the card, label it that, give it a level of importance, and let's go and let's go rip, because these two gentlemen here are top, I don't know if you want to say top 10, top 20 wrestlers in the world today.
Yeah.
And they're never going to give you a bad match. And this match delivered, as I knew that it would at the end of the day. But I felt like it should have been, that's my personal opinion. I felt like it should have been for something, even though I know, I get it. Yes, it's for the number one contendership eventually, right? It's not like, oh, someone's going to get a shot next event. No, eventually somewhere down the road, someone's gonna get a shot here.
I don't mind them saving Ibushi and Shingo for like Summer Struggle, a major event. If it was on Kazunu Road, I would be like, this is kind of too big of a match, and it feels like you are lowering it by putting on this card.
Sure, that I can understand. But the only thing that I didn't necessarily understand, logic being logic, right? So a title match is always going to get more time than a non-title match, right? Which is why the junior heavyweight match got the 23 minutes and they got the 14 minutes. But I felt like this match probably should have gotten more time than the junior heavyweight match. That's the only thing that I would say. As per match rating, 3.75 stars. And I don't even have to watch the match. That this match, just by the names itself, gets that rating at the end of the day. So that's my take on it, personally. But these guys, they deliver. They always deliver. When don't they deliver? At the end of the day, I think is really the question. Because Ibushi, as we stated earlier, because we started the show off by talking about the main event. He came out after this win, and after Takagi's win, basically to challenge for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. He was battered, bruised, beaten, because the one and only Jeff Cobb battered and bruised his ass during this match. It wasn't even. This is the Jeff Cobb that I've been wanting to see forever. And ever since he's joined the United Empire, it's been great for him, I think, from a character standpoint, from an in-ring standpoint, his ability, what he brings to the table in-ring, it just matches him well at this point. And it's always cool to see. Just to give you guys the wrap on this particular one, 14 minutes, 54 seconds, Kota Ibushi did end up winning this particular match with the Kamigoye on Jeff Cobb.
Took like three of them.
Yes, it took three of them. Jeff Cobb gave Ibushi a Kamigoye.
Which was worth three of them.
It went off. The last one sounded like a gunshot. I was like, oh, geez, like what's going on?
It's like one Kamigoye is three Kamigoyes. Like if Cobb would have got the cover after his Kamigoye, it would have been over. But he was too taken out by the first Kamigoye, and then I would say the in the midair Kamigoye was great because I needed to rewind it back to see it because I was like confused because it looked like he just dropped him on it, but then I realized
it was a botch. And when Ibushi was on top of Jeff, and then they I guess they went down, I heard like a loud crack, and I was like, oh shit, somebody got hurt. Like that was my initial like reaction. I was like, oh, something went wrong, or whatever the case is. But I guess they recovered, and then they went for another offensive flurry between the two of them and stuff like that. But yeah, man, it's like I said, these guys deliver all the time. Ness, your thoughts, man, about what's going on here?
I went a little high on this match.
Okay.
I gave it 4 1/4. Mm-hmm. I think this was just a little bit under the main event, far as like the quality of the match, but it was still up there. The brutality, the physicality in this match. You guys are already talking about the multiple Kamigoyes from Ibushi, and then the one from Jeff Cobb. When I thought that was going to end the match too at one point. And then there was the one spot. I don't even want to call it an F5. It was like an F20 that Jeff Cobb hit on Ibushi, and he's just spinning, like literally just spinning in the air. And like these guys are definitely two top talents in the world, definitely two top talents in the New Japan. They went out there, they put on a match that wasn't the main event, but this could have been a main event on any card, you know, and they definitely delivered. So 4 1/4. Congratulations to Bushi. You know, I hope they hold off on the him versus Shingo so they can actually go all out, because after this, I don't think he's going to want to go all out just that soon, because Jeff Cobb took the fight to him and gave him everything he got. Both these guys left it all in the ring.
I gave this one 4 stars. I'm right in the middle of the both of y'all. I thought this was a great matchup. And it really was a matchup that was really unpredictable because although like when they first teased this matchup, when Ibushi lost the title, I was like, okay, this is going to be the rehab win for him. But the buildup in how Cobb was so dominant against them and the fact that Will Ospreay is gone, it would have made a lot of sense for Cobb to win here and be a heel contender for whoever won the main event. So I really enjoyed this match. I really enjoyed the near fall on the first Kamigoye, although the Kamigoye is getting into the Naito Destino range where he needs multiple of them to finish somebody off when it was just a one-hit killer before. It's kind of getting ridiculous with Sonata kicking out of it, now Cobb kicking out of it, Ospreay kicked out of it, even though Ibushi didn't kick out the Stormbreaker. Like, it's getting to the point where he needs to come up with like a new finisher, and this was the finisher to replace the Golden Star Powerbomb, which the Last Ride Powerbomb, which people were starting to kick out of, and this was supposed to be his killer, and now it's getting into that range where he needs multiples, which I'm not too fond of, but I really enjoyed this match. Great stuff. And like Ness said, we even got a comment here from Slam Hub Wrestling. Jeff Cobb has improved as a lot since joining United Empire. Guy deserves a belt, be it the US or a world title. Yes, Cobb just overall, from his work to his look to just his aura around him, he just feels like a main eventer now, and I hope they do more with him now that Ospreay is taking some time off. But that is the final matchup for us to review. If you want to hear our analysis on Shingo and Okada, you can go back to the beginning of the stream once we are done here, but we got to wrap things up, fellas, and go through it. MVP, LVP, match of the night, and how we rated this show. Let's start with Ness. Who was your MVP of New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion 2021?
Nobody other than Shingo Takagi. Gotta give it to him.
Yes, I'm going to agree with Ness here. Shingo Takagi is well deserving of the MVP honors. Great matchup and a new champion. And like a couple of comments said in the live chat, it felt like a new era begun. Please let us know in the live chat or in the comments section if you're watching on demand who your MVP, LVP match of the night was. J News, MVP.
Oh, yeah, Shingo, man. Without a doubt, the Rampage Dragon just deserves all the accolades and the praise for this particular show and the match that he put on.
LVP, I am going to kick things off with the LVP, and I'm going to give it to the person who I think added the least to the event, whether, first match to the last match, and I'm going to go with Bushi. Bushi just feels like, even though LIJ had a great night, I'm wearing an LIJ shirt. My boy Ness here is wearing an LIJ shirt. Bushi just feels like he is on another stratosphere away from everybody else. You got Shingo, the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. You got Hiromu, rehabbing, but he's going to come back and be the ace of the junior heavyweight division again. You got Sonata and Naito going for the tag team gold. Bushi just feels like he is a opening card guy compared to everybody else in LIJ right now. J News, who's your LVP?
He's a curtain jerker now, isn't he, SP3? Jesus, man. Jesus. Where the mighty have fallen, where the best thing you can mention about Bushi is his entrance during the damn show with his masks and stuff. Props to Bushi with the mask stuff, because that stuff is it's awesome with how creative he gets. But on a lighter note and a more serious note, I think the LVP for me in this particular show is Yo. He didn't bring it, bro. He didn't bring it, and it was disappointing. I understand that he is not show, but give me something to get behind, though. And he didn't give me anything to get behind in this particular match, being that he was put in a important position on the card, and to me, he didn't deliver. So that's my LVP of the night. Yo would be my LVP.
That is fair. Jane, Ness, who you got as your LVP?
I actually have to give both of you guys sentiments. I'm going to go with Yo for my main person, because it was a major match, title match. It should have been, in my opinion, a little bit more out of him, which we didn't get. And the fact that it takes two to tango, but he took the L, so I'll give him my main LVP. But honorable mentions to Bushi and Doki, because they're pretty much afterthoughts after that match. Like I said earlier, we were only talking about, for the main part of the 6-man match, was Sonata and Naito versus Dangerous Tekkers. We really didn't mention Doki or Bushi during that whole spiel. So they get the honorable mention, but yeah, I also have to go with Show. I mean, I'm sorry, not Show, because he showed up, but Yo.
And match of the night, I don't think it's any debate. Are we unanimous? Okada and Shingo?
Yeah.
Yes. And out of 10, first of all, let's do thumbs in the middle, thumbs up or thumbs down for New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion 2021 in 3, 2, 1. All 3 thumbs up for Dominion 2021. Out of 10, I will give the show an 8 out of 10. I would have gone 8.5 if the Junior Heavyweight Championship matchup was slightly better, but I will go with 8 out of 10. The back-to-back matches between Cobb and Ibushi plus Shingo and Okada were 2 bangers, 2 great matches to close out the night, so it gets an 8 out of 10 for me. Plus, I like the stuff that was building on the undercard as well. J News, what you got out of 10?
I give it a strong 6, like 7 for me for this particular event, just because I am not a proponent of the big multi-man matches. You guys understand, if you've watched enough episodes of J News Japan on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, that I am not a proponent of this. Anytime any show does not have Young Lions on it, it does not get more than a 7, and that's just me.
We got in the comments here, Slam Hub Wrestling saying, I think they got something big planned for Okada, cough, cough, a possible match with Omega at MSG. Out of 10, Ness, what did you give Dominion 2021?
I gave it a solid 8. I liked it. I enjoyed it for the most part. I do have to agree with you. If the junior heavyweight title match was a little bit better and we got more out of that match, I definitely would have bumped it up, probably to 8.5. But yeah, out of this, I think 8. I think 8 is a respectable rating.
So that brings us to a close for New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion 2021 Roundtable Review. Let us know in the comment section your MVP, LVP, match of the night, and how you rated this event. Please, thank you for everyone who joined us in the live chat with your thoughts. J News, you want to start us off? Where can they find you on social media and the True Hill Heat YouTube channel?
You can do your best to find me on social media via the Instagram channels, _ JONJAY, John J. You can find me right here on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel once in a blue moon during the baseball season, because, yeah, I'll mention that. And then, outside of that, yeah, just you'll probably see me during the roundtables for whatever the pay-per-view events are, as long as time permits and everything else in between. I will do my best to do recaps for maybe weeks of content for New Japan in the next coming weeks, just so that we can have more New Japan stuff to put on the channel.
Absolutely. We thank you for your contribution. Thank you for joining us, J News. And Ness, where can they find you on social media and the True Hill Heat YouTube channel?
You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at skinny__Kravitz. You catch me on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, one half of Fusion of Honor with my man, the Stat King, the man of 1,004 numbers, where we review MLW Fusion, which is actually on a break right now, and Ring of Honor. You can catch me on Blunt Impact and Joints and Jabronis with Chris G, where we review Impact. And you can also catch me on NX3 with, once again, Chris G and Romeo Anthony Colon, where we review NXT. The Roundtable Rebel. I'm on the roundtables. And yeah, that's where you catch me at.
And you can find me at True Heel SP3. We will be going live on the Powered 4 TV YouTube channel tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. for you folks in the UK. So check me out over there. And I'll be on Wrestling Daily tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. BST with the good brother Alex McCarthy, who has joined us in the live chat earlier. And we're going to have a special guest, someone you guys brought up in the live chat, one half of the Good Brothers, the Big LG, Doc Gallows, on with the Daily Boys tomorrow on Wrestling Daily. And you'll see me live on Friday for our Dark Side of the Ring review for Dynamite Kid, and on Saturday for True Hill Heat 129. One final comment we got here. I don't know if we are at the main event yet, but before the show, my match of the year was Shingo versus Ospreay for Dataku until Shingo versus Okada. I think the best part was Shingo actually winning. Okada winning was safe, and that was from Matthew McCoskey, who's already donating to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. Thank you for that. So we had to show your comment here, but thank you, everyone. Please join us for our live chats the rest of the week. Support the channel by donating with super chats on those live streams. This has been our New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion 2021 Roundtable Review for the three-time baby making champion. This is Ness. For the MC of New Japan Pro Wrestling, J News. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. We are signing off until